What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, you guys. So before I get into it, if you guys are watching this or any other video on the channel and you guys are not subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go on ahead and get into part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, shall we? Now, if you guys watched part 3 of the reunion on Bravo or Peacock, let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below, and we'll go ahead and get into it. And good afternoon to you, grown woman. Don't try me. I hope that you are having a great Monday so far. So, before I get into it, there are a few things that I want to touch on real quickly. And this is some stuff that we found out over the weekend. So, over the weekend, Kenya, I think she was live on her YouTube channel. So, Kenya talked about season 17. And also, speaking of season 17, so from what I'm hearing, season 17 is supposed to start filming next month. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so far, the word on the curb is everybody from this season is returning, with the exception of Britt Edie. Kenya said that she's not coming back, but I think Kenya is in talks. She said, there is conversations going on with them, but right now she's not coming back. She did say that they are looking to add 2 new women to the cast, and one of them is from Love and Hip Hop. So people have now been speculating that maybe K. Michelle could be joining Real Housewives of Atlanta. What I will say is if K. Michelle joins Real Housewives of Atlanta, I would like it, right? I think that would be cool. Now, I did see some people talking about, it could be Rashida. Yeah, you guys, I don't think it's Rashida. And the only reason why I say I don't think it's Rashida is because Rashida is still under contract with VH1. And then she also said that the other person is a known restaurateur in Atlanta. And so a lot of people are thinking Pinky Cole. So if you guys don't know who Pinky Cole is, she is the owner of the Slutty Vegan, which the next time I'm in Atlanta, I definitely want to try out the Slutty Vegan. Now I've heard some mixed reviews about the Slutty Vegan, that the food is good. Some people say it's not good, but I don't go by what people say. I like to try things out for myself. So that's the rumbling right now that Pinky Cole from the Slutty Vegan and K. Michelle may be joining the show. Grown woman, don't try me, says, I may not watch the new season. K. Michelle, no thanks. I mean, I know that there are people out there that don't necessarily like K. Michelle. I love K. Michelle. I thought she was a great hit on Love and Hip Hop. So, I mean, I'm here. If K. Michelle joins, we shall see. It would be interesting to see how she interacts with these girls. And I know a lot of people are expecting, if she joins the show, a lot of people are expecting for her to get into it with Porsha. I don't necessarily see it, but it is what it is. But yeah, you guys, that's really all I got to talk about so far. Like I said, they say that filming is supposed to start next month, and allegedly K. Michelle and Pinky Cole are joining the cast. Now, that's not official, and they would still probably have to test them to see if they are a good fit for the girls. But let me know what you guys think. Now, part 3 of the reunion, we pick up where we ended with Porsha and Shamea going back and forth, right? Now, you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, Porsha had posted in her Instagram stories that something egregious happened with her mom and with Shamea's mother, right? So Shamea is upset that Porsha even mentioned it, right? So Andy wants to know, what is this that happened between your mother? So Porsha says that their moms were best friends and they both had a daycare business, right? So Porsha said that her mom's business went into foreclosure and that Shamea's mom bought the business after it went into foreclosure. I was like, here's the thing. I will say that is smart though, because it went into foreclosure, so she got it for a steal. And Porsha says that she didn't, her mom didn't know until one day they were driving by the business, right? And they saw that Shamea's mom, they were taking Portia's mama's sign down and putting up Shamea's mama's sign. I was like, oh. But Shamea says that's not it. They weren't talking for years before that. Andy was trying to get deeper into it, and I'm kind of glad that they, I think it was Cynthia or somebody who said like, yeah, let's not go that far. And he was like, yeah, let's not go that far, right? Grown woman don't try me say, I think it's more to it than Shamea's mom buying her business. It could be. It could be. So now here's my thing. So Shamea is over here now trying to sit there and say, oh, well, Porsha, I didn't think you were a good friend to me because you talking about I had a conversation with Britt, but you had one with her too. And Cynthia chimed in and she was like, well, the conversation with Britt was really Britt telling, Porsha that you went, you showed up the text message. So it was nothing deeper than that. So then, because Andy also said that Porsha and Shamea both talked behind each other's backs. Now, from what we saw on the show, Porsha didn't talk behind Shamea's back, and technically, we didn't see Shamea talk behind Portia's back. We just heard people bring it back to her, Porsha, that she was talking behind her back because Drew confirmed it, Angela confirmed it, and Britt even said it. So Shamea, like I had said before, you're looking like a liar, but I still like Shamea. Speaking of Shamea, that's something else I forgot to mention. So Shamea has a YouTube channel, right? Shamea posted her, I don't know if it's her first video or not, but Shamea posted a video yesterday before the reunion aired, right? And in the video, Shamea was talking about Shamea went on this apology tour, apologizing to Porsha, Cynthia, Phaedra, even though you weren't there for that long, Angela, Kelly, Britt, and Drew. I was like, Shamea, this is very cringy. This is very cringy. And I think the only reason why I think Shamea is doing this is because, again, like I said, the word is they're supposed to start filming next month. And the way that Shamea left this season, you ain't got nobody but Kelly. And Kelly's a fucking liar. Excuse my French, but Kelly's a fucking liar. Now, like I said earlier, if they do happen to bring in Pinky and K Michelle, maybe those could be some two allies to Shamea. But as of right now, you on the outside looking in. But that apology was so cringy, Shamea. Shell Bell says, I saw it also like, God, Shamea, I want it better for you. And then you also talking about, let me see if I can find that. Because Shamea also was talking about the fact that, she went into this reunion ill prepared. No, you didn't. You went into this reunion thinking everybody was going to come for Drew. You also went into this reunion thinking that Britt was going to be there and Britt was going to be in a hot seat. Those were the two things that I bet you expected because you thought that receipt about Drew with that bag was going to land, and it didn't, Shamea. You didn't go into this reunion ill prepared because this is not your first reunion that you've ever been to. Now, this is your first reunion that you've been to as a full-time housewife, but go somewhere with that bullshit, Shamea. Like, I'm over Shamea. Grown woman don't try to say Shamea needs to stay far away from Kelly, in my opinion. I agree. What's up, Keywan? How you doing today? And also, you guys, Keywan has a YouTube channel. She does review Housewives of Atlanta. She reviews Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if you guys are interested in that at all, please go check out her channel. Shell Bell says she didn't even get into the stuff with Porsha. She started crying. Then her fam came to pray for the rest of the live. Oh no, so disappointed. Oh, her family. Oh, she started crying. Yeah, see, I'm glad I didn't. Something told me. I was like, let me go watch it to see what Shamea is saying. But I'm glad that I didn't go watch that thing because it probably would have pissed me off. It's the way you're saying Shamea's name, LOL, and thank you. Oh, so you guys. Oh, so also, I'm saying the way I'm saying her name. I know it probably sounds funny. And it probably sounds like I got a lisp too. So you guys know with these braces, I just actually had an appointment today. So they tightened up my braces, and so if I sound funny, that's what it is. They put two screws in one of my brackets because two of my teeth they shifted a little, not shifted. They kind of turned. So they're trying to get them to turn back the other way. So that's what it is. But yeah, Shamea is like she didn't do it for me. You weren't ill prepared, Shamia. Like you really were not ill prepared. You, like I said, you really thought that this was going to be a Drew and Britt takedown reunion, but it wasn't. It was a takedown to View. Because, ma'am, you left this reunion looking stupid. So then she took accountability for talking to the girls behind Portia's back. And I was like, a little bit too late for that now, Shamia, don't you think? But okay, whatever. But and Drew was like, but we didn't go back. Well, Drew says, well, I didn't go back and tell Porsha anything that you said, but you did come to us, and it was like you were, and she's like, you weren't prompted to tell us about Porsha. You she said Drew was saying that Shamea wasn't prompted to tell them about Porsha. Drew says it kind of felt like she came from, she felt like she was in a safe space with the girls and that she could, talk to them. And I believe Drew, even though Drew is a damn liar, I believe Drew. Grown Woman says we wanted fans. We wanted so much more from Shamea, and we didn't get it. Here's the thing when it comes to that. In the beginning of the season, I did want so much more from Shamea, but by the middle of the season, I started to see her for who she really is. And I was like, the reason you and Porsha have been friends as long as you guys have been friends is because there's some similarities between you and Porsha. Oh, you said it. You said, here's the thing. Yes, I am a little bit annoyed with Shamea in my spirit because she fell flat. And here's the other reason why I'm annoyed with Shamea. And it's like what Andy said later in the reunion, and even Cynthia kind of co-signed it. My problem with Shamea is, here's the thing. You are well within your right to have an issue with Porsha because of things that has happened in your friendship with Porsha. You're well in your right to feel the way you felt about Phaedra, about the things that Phaedra said about you. But the problem that I have with Shamea is you laugh and kiki with them, but then we get to the reunion and we find out you still had an issue with them. And like Porsha said later in this episode, in the reunion, that shit was 10 years ago, Shamea. Like, you're still harboring that stuff. Don't do that. Like, be real. It's okay to tell your friends, like, I'm upset with you. You did this, you did that, and I'm pissed off at you. That is absolutely fine to do. Yeah, Drew was vindicated, and I can't even sit here and deny that. Drew was definitely vindicated, but that's my problem with Shamea. Don't sit there and pretend like you good with your best friend and Phaedra. Like, don't do that. That's stupid to me. Like, that is one thing that my mom instilled in me. If you feel some way, tell people how you feel. But she didn't even have to instill that in me. That's just always that's just how I've been since I was a kid. If you done something to me, if you wronged me, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, you fucked up how you did. Like, you did me. Like, now, will I say it right away? Probably not. Because if I say something right away, it's probably gonna come out the wrong way. So I have to gather myself and get my words together. But I don't let too much time fester if I feel some type of way about something. Let's be clear, Porsha ain't. And let me say this, grown woman, don't try me. Like, I'm not saying Porsha's the same. If y'all have been here for any length of time, y'all know how I felt about Porsha when it comes to her and Shamea's relationship. I definitely do think that Porsha had, Shamea gives as good as she gets, and so does Porsha. So yeah, Portia's not the same. Yeah. You think Porsha wants to be the HBIC? I can see that. Shamea's biggest mistake is that she's gonna come off aggressive next season until she learns how to address real talk. Yeah, and that's a problem with Shamea. But I hope Shamea learned a lesson. Don't talk to the girls. Tell you like I hope Shamea learned a lesson from this. It's fine to address things to other people. And even Porsha said that they have a friendship group where some of their friends, and I'm assuming that these are friends that are not on Real Housewives of Atlanta, who have echoed the same things that the girls have said to her. And again, like I said, okay, grown woman, don't try me. Yeah, because I was saying, I hope I'm not coming off like, even though I do like Porsha, I'm like, I hope I'm not coming off that I'm defending Porsha, because y'all know I don't. Because I have no problem with calling her out. But here's the thing, Shamea. This makes you look like a bad friend. Because this is what I've said about Shamea all season, is that Shamea does that. Shamea goes on, Shamea goes on this, oh, I'm such a good friend of Porsha. I'm such a good friend of Porsha. I'm such a good friend of Porsha. But then it's like, oh, so that's why people be like, oh, well, Porsha is a bad friend of Shamea because Shamea's done this for Porsha. Shamea's done that for Porsha. Shamea's been here for Porsha. Shamea's been there for Porsha. But then Porsha looks like the bad guy, which again, is Porsha squeaky clean? Absolutely not. So yeah, Shamea says, well, I heard that you didn't want me on the show. And I've heard that as well from people that know people, that they said that Porsha didn't want Shamea on the show. Now Porsha says that she didn't want Shamea on the show, but Andy even confirmed that. Now, do I take what Andy say for anything? Not 100%. Do I believe Porsha may have wanted Shamea on here at one point? Probably. But also, Shamea, I will say, the rumors are looking more and more true. Like, the reason why it looked like you probably went on here from the beginning, season 10, Gerald, because your husband wasn't even at this reunion, which we'll get to that once we get to it. But Shamea, neither here nor there. So, so Porsha mentioned that in interviews, Shamea is saying that the friendship started to shift because she got her peach. It could have, right? It could have. I'm not gonna say that it didn't, but hey, it is what it is. Is it Tawana D? Correct me if I'm wrong. You say, hey everyone, has anyone watched Shamea's apology video? Absolutely not. I have not watched the video and I don't intend to. You say, I personally haven't, but I doubt she has learned her lesson. Shamea needs to lay on someone's couch. Absolutely. What up, Miss Baythang? Yeah, actually, you know what, you guys, I'm not gonna click on her video, but I'm gonna go see how long her video is. Shamea Morton. I can't find her channel. Oh, here it is. Dear Sweet 16. Did she go live or something, you guys? Let me know, because this that I'm seeing on her channel is only 58 seconds. It's only 58 seconds. But again, I don't want to watch it. Like, what did she do? Because I don't see it. Oh, she went live. Okay. And it's not, and see, like when you click on her channel, it shows videos, shorts. She must have deleted it. Or she either deleted it or it went private. Oh no. Yeah, Shamea must have either deleted that bitch or it's private. Because I don't see it. But neither here nor there. I don't. Oh, I see it. It's 41 minutes. I see it. She got to, okay. Yeah, I don't want to hear Shamea for 41 minutes. No shade. Again, Shamea, I do like you. I think you're a sweet girl. Yeah, but I'm just not going to sit here and listen to 41 minutes of you. No, thank you, Shamea. No, thank you, Shamea. I like you, but no. Is Gerald coming in my Karen Huger voice? Exactly. First time watching your channel so far, enjoying you. Thank you so much, Denise Marshall. I appreciate you. Oh God, hey. that's the main reason I'm not doing it. I'm not watching it. Absolutely not. And she does a lot of singing. Oh God, no. Because she sang, who was she? Was she singing Monica? Because in the clip that I saw her singing. Was she singing Monica? Whatever she was singing, she sounded good, but I'm like, damn it, Shamea. Oh girl, Shamea. Let me say this real quick. I am so happy for you with your music. I am so proud of you with your music. But what I will say from a fan's perspective, even Drew don't do this. Drew don't sing every fucking episode. Somebody who does sing every fucking episode on their respective show is Candace Dillard Bassett. And even with Candace, I would get annoyed when Candace would sing. So I want you, if Candace ever comes back to Potomac too, I want Candace to minimize the singing too. But Shamea, girl, just minimize it. Minimize all the singing. We know you can sing. We know you can sing. I just want you to minimize it just a teensy weensy bit. Minimize that, please, Shamea. You say I can't handle. When it comes to Shamea, I can't. I really can't. And Drew got a whole album. Now check that in my name. Exactly. Drew got a whole album, and Drew did not even sing that much this season unless she was in the studio. Shamea sings in every damn sing damn near. I'm like, oh my God, Shamea, girl, please stop with the singing. Yeah, thank you for telling me that she's singing in that video because I absolutely will not be watching it. No, Shamea, please stop. Please stop. Now, here's something that was so weird, and I clocked it, and they just moved right past it. When Porsha said that Shamea, because Shamea's talking about how both Porsha and Phaedra could have ruined her engagement with, saying that she slept with Candy and Todd. Shamea, listen to me one more time, beloved. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to repeat it again to you. Shamea, beloved, if you felt that way, that lie that Phaedra fabricated about you fucking all of Atlanta and fucking Candy and Todd could have affected your engagement, then you should have had a conversation with your best friend. Don't laugh in your best friend's face. Tell your best friend, hey, Porsha, I do love you. You're my best friend. But I saw that bullshit on TV with you and Phaedra. And the fact that you didn't defend me to that bitch, I got a problem with it. Like, I need you to go on national television, back on, if you're going to watch What Happens Live when Andy asked you about that, address that shit. Or better yet, Shamea, you went to the reunion that season and you didn't even say it now, unless they edit it out, you didn't say shit at that reunion season 9. But you did read Phaedra, but you didn't say shit to Porsha. So again, Shamea, listen to me loud and listen to me clear. Going into season 17, if you have an issue with Porsha, if you have an issue with Phaedra, even though they've apologized to you now, don't bring it up. Don't bring up shit from the past. If you have an issue with them next season, that's what you need to talk about. Don't talk about shit from season 9. Don't talk about none of that shit ever again, Shamea. Let this be the last time you talk about that stuff, because I was really irritated with you saying that they almost ruined your engagement. I was like, girl, this is what we were talking about. And part 2 is that you don't speak up and again, Shamea. I also want you to get a little bit of a backbone. Stop being such a people pleaser. Tell people how you feel when you feel it. Now, if you're like myself and sometimes your words come out fucked up, which I'm very good with my words, but if I'm in the heat of the moment and I'm upset, yes, I do know that sometimes in the heat of the moment, I say things and I'd be like, oh, I probably shouldn't have worded it that way. If you're like me, then I'll take a breath. Be like, okay, you know what? Say to Porsha, I'm really pissed off at this right about now, but right now is not a good time for me to talk to you about this. But me and you we need to table it and have a conversation later. But don't let it fester. Don't go to the reunion. And also, Shamea, something that I want to say to you, you're very passive aggressive. You're very passive aggressive. And I want you to let that shit go too. Because and that's something else that you got to cut out too. The interviews. If you ain't said how you felt to the person, then don't use them interviews as a time to bash them. Because you did it to Britt Edie. And I'm not even a Britt Edie fan, but the way that I think it was when you and Kelly were down at the Breakfast Club, or y'all could have been at V104. I don't remember which interview it was, but we all had that interview and you were talking about that. She said something about your child. Yes, she mentioned your child, but the way that you worded it, you would have thought that she talked about your daughter's disability when she actually did not. She questioned your parenting skills, not your child, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on, you guys. What else we got to talk about? So now, Andy, let me ask you this question. Why did you feel the need to ask Kelly what she thought about Porsha and Shamea's friendship? I know that, and I'm using air quotes when I say Porsha, not Porsha, but Shamea and Kelly have gotten closer. I still think it's part of that damn alliance that they cooked up. But he asked her, how does she feel? She says, I talked to Shamea and I told Shamea that, I pray that you and Porsha can work things out. So then, this is where she's like, and, Shamea, this is your moment to have the conversation. I was actually in agreement with Porsha. No, this is not her moment. She has had her moment numerous times. You had your moment when you and Porsha had that sit down. You had your moment 10 years ago, Shamea. And it appears you never had the conversation with your best friend and told your best friend how you really feel. So no, this is not your moment, Shamea. And Kelly, do me a solid favor, put the up to the shut and shut your mouth. Like the fuck. So they also feel like Porsha, her friendship with Britt is not, a solid friendship. Now, I will honestly say I agree with that. I don't believe that Portia's friendship with Britt is solid. I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't believe it's a real friendship. So, so then Shamea says that she noticed a difference with Porsha and her. After they had that sit down with each other, she noticed a difference between them. Now, Shamea, come close, beloved. I don't know why you felt the need to mention that you felt the disconnect when Londi died. And rest in peace to Londi. Shamea, that was her cousin. Granted, I know now y'all know I didn't watch Portia's show when it aired, and probably will never watch her show, right? But for you to sit there and use that, like, I think it's crazy to me that you use that. Like, the girl's cousin passed away. What do you expect her to do? What the fuck do you expect? Oh my God, y'all are tripping. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all know I started back to work last week, and these people, bitch, y'all are tripping like a motherfucker. Oh, baby, I'm going back out on the leave of absence pretty soon. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I was talking about. I am so sorry, you guys. I lost my train of thoughts. This reunion made me really not like Kelly. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Somebody put in the Lonnie thing. Like, girl, that was the now. If you want to say that you reach out to Portia and hang out, and she didn't want to hang out with you, that was fine. But mentioning Londi, that was so low, Shamea. She should have kept Londi out of it. Distasteful. Definitely enjoying you already. Thank you. I'm new here. I like that you are fair and real. No extra shenanigans like some other content creators. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, like to mention Londi, girl, I was like, now Shamea. I would see if it were me and you mentioned my deceased cousin, girl, I'm not gonna reach out to you. I don't want to go out with nobody. Like my cousin died. What the fuck you think I'm like, oh yeah, bitch, let's go to the club, let's go to the bar, let's go to have some shots. No, I don't again, and like I said, I don't care if I don't care how Portia treated Londi up until the point of her death. Obviously, Portia and Londi were in a good space because Londi was still working with Portia. So let's leave it at that. But yeah, Shamea, you were wrong for that, right? So now I don't know if this was on Bravo's version or if this was on Peacock's version because they showed Dennis backstage and he was talking about there. I'm here to support baby mama and Drew. Coach Dennis, go away. Go straight to hell. But whatever. So we get back on stage. So Andy asked Drew the question about, her kids. Now you guys remember early in the season, Drew was talking about that her kids were having behavioral issues with the whole, which technically them kids don't know shit about what's going on with her and Ralph, but her kids were having behavioral issues, right? So he asked her how are things going. And so Drew says that the kids are in therapy and that it's actually helping, right? So then he also mentioned the fact that Ralph had tweeted something. Ralph, you are such an opportunist. My God, today you're such an opportunist. So on top of Shamea putting out her live that she did yesterday, why did Ralph decide to release a song yesterday? Ralph, you are starting like I'm gonna have to find a new name for you, Ralph, because you are absolutely at this point starting to give Patricia Thomas. So I'm gonna have to come up with the name for Ralph. Y'all can help me in the live if y'all can come up with the art name for Ralph. But you really starting to give Peter Thomas. Oh God. So Ralph had tweeted about Drew's mom and her dad. So you guys know Drew's dad passed away, and let Wreck-It Ralph tell it. Wreck-It Ralph bailed her mama out because I guess Drew's mama had ran through the father's money. Wreck-It Ralph, that is low as hell. Let's just be real about it. I don't give a damn how you feel about Drew, and I don't give a damn how you feel about Drew's mother. But for you to sit there and talk about her mother, that is disgusting, Ralph. That is so disgusting. I would have. It would take the grace of God for me not to knock your teeth out of your fucking mouth, Ralph. I kid you not. I thought I heard someone say that. Where's the song? I gotta hear. Now, the song, I will say, it sounded good. I will be honest with you guys. Ralph sounded good with the song. Now, where is the song? I'm gonna go to Instagram, you guys, because that's where I saw it at. So give me like a hot second and we will pull it up. Ralph Pittman. It sounded good. The little snippet that I heard, but I saw that it was Ralph and I said, F this. Because again, it is Wreck-It Ralph. So it is on Apple Music, it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Deezer. I don't know what that is. It's on Tidal, it's on Amazon MP3, and it's on Google Play. So the name of the song is Wish Nigga. I know you fucking lying to me. I know you fucking lying to me. The name of the song, you guys, is called Wish You Well. So this is Ralph's. This is what Ralph put on his in his when he posted it yesterday. He says, "Expressing myself through my love language, music. Wish You Well, out on all platforms. Produced by Ralph Pittman. Writers Ralph Pittman and somebody else. Engineer. It tells who the end. So I'm assuming this song is for Drew. Oh my God. Oh my God. Drew. Let me say this to you too, since they say you coming back next season, which I'm okay with that. Girl, please don't be like Kenya when it comes to this divorce with Ralph. Girl, get the divorce expeditiously. Because I kid you not, I don't want to see Ralph on my damn television screen no more. My God, today, Ralph will be seated on the right hands of Satan. He will. Girl, I kid you not. I don't want to see Ralph Pittman on my damn television screen anymore. Absolutely not. So Andy did also mention, now I did remember seeing this video of Ralph and Drew cooking. I think it was Memorial Day weekend. I'm almost positive it was Memorial Day weekend because it was the holiday weekend when they did it, where he said in the caption that Drew called him daddy. So Drew says that that wasn't what it was. She said that was an effort for them to co-parent with each other. And Cynthia says she likes seeing it. Here's my thing. I don't know how you can co-parent with somebody like Ralph. Ralph is a gaslighter. Ralph is an asshole. Ralph is a piece of shit. Ralph is a no for me. But hey, it is what it is. So then a viewer had mentioned something about Drew's court order, right? Where they couldn't tell the kids about the divorce and Ralph is in the basement where she was upstairs, right? Now, Porsha said that is common. Like when her divorce from Cordell happened, they were in the stay and she was upstairs and he was downstairs. I was like, okay, cool. So then Drew mentioned, because Porsha asked, did you say that there was a woman in the basement? So Drew says, yeah, a woman came over and, she found out who the woman was. She looked the woman up on social media and come to find out, I don't know if she said the woman works at her daughter Anaya's school or if she saw, but either way it go, she went to her daughter's school for lunch and the woman approached her asking her, who is she? I would have said, I'm the bitch that you came to my house, the bitch's house that you came to. Oh, the fuck? Baby, I would have drugged that lady from here to next door and to next year and to next, like into infinity and beyond. Like, how you gonna come up to me knowing you came to my house and was with my soon-to-be ex-husband, and then you got the unmitigated gall and audacity to come up to me and question who the fuck I am? Girl, you better pray to God that I don't put hands on you. But hey, Drew is better than me. Because I would have drugged that heifer to hell and back. Like, I would have drugged her. Like, the fuck? Yeah, exactly, Kiwan. The audacity, the pure audacity of that woman. So then we move on. So a viewer asked the women, why can't they show compassion towards Drew, but they can show it to Porsha, all of them with the exception of Angela, right? So Kelly comes up with this lie, and she was like, Drew, I really want to hit it off with you more, especially with us going through the same thing. And Angela had me hollering because Angela is over there just shaking her head no. And Kelly was like, no, Angela, don't give me that. No, Kelly, she's telling the truth. Like, you came for Drew for no reason. But when you explained it in this reunion, it made more sense. But you didn't say it in your interview. You didn't say it in the scene with Drew. So Kelly, because Drew was like, "You called me a liar," and I felt like you were just basically jumping on the bandwagon, right? And Kelly was like, "No, Drew, I wasn't doing that." She was like, "At my Balmain event, you said that you bought something, but you didn't buy anything." So then Drew goes into this thing where she says, "Well, I did buy something, but because I reached out to the person, the person that was selling the stuff, right? Because at your event, they didn't have anything in my size." And I was like, "Okay, they didn't have anything in your size." So she said she worked with the person that was there and she bought something. But then Shamea chimed in, and I'm like, "Shamea, this is the perfect time that you chimed in. I'm glad you chimed in at this point," because Shamea says, "Well, Kelly, like if we bought something at your event, the proceeds went to a charity, right?" And she said yes, because she said even Porsha didn't buy something there, but Porsha later sent her lawyer money to her, right? And I was like, okay. And she was like, "Well, if you had said something, then I would have donated." I was like, "Would you have, Drew? But okay, if you say so, cool." So then Andy asked Drew about if she's related to Michael Jordan. Now, somebody left this in my comments last week. And let me say this loud and clear, you guys. And I'm gonna get to Keywan's comment real quick, and then I'll get to what I want to say. That's still not enough grounds to not like Drew. It's not. So when I said last week about Shamea and when she said that Drew was a liar, what I was saying was I wasn't saying what. Let me clear it up. What I was saying last week was the example that Shamea gave of Drew being a liar was not a good example. What Shamea could have done was said, "Oh, well, Drew, you did say that Michael Jordan was your cousin," and Angela asked Marcus, "Were they related to you?" And they said no. So hence, that was a lie. That's all I was saying. But Drew says that she was just joking. Do I believe Drew was joking? If Drew says she was joking, I tend to believe Drew, right? But that's what I was saying last week. I would have used that as an example, not that stupid ass purse that was confirmed to be real. So we move on. So Andy questions Shamea about the comment about PJ's college being paid for. I don't want to rehash this again, to be quite honest with you guys, but let's just be for real. The whole thing of PJ's college being paid for, she was not saying it in a negative way. And Shamea took it back to Porsha. And so Andy asked Porsha, how does she feel? And she was like, now, when Shamea told me, I was pissed, right? But then, she said she was pissed. But then when she saw it on television, it was just cringy. And I was like, I can understand that, right? So then this is where Shamea got on my nerves too. Because Shamea then became passive aggressive. Well, since y'all cool and y'all done made up, then I'll just mind my business. Shamea, you should have done that in the first place. Like, what are you talking about? She said, I just took it as I was being a good friend to Porsha like you are to Drew. And Angela said, girl, what? So then they brought up Porsha and Ralph and them filming, right? What I will say is there's a clear difference between Drew filming with Dennis and Porsha and Shamea filming with Ralph. The difference is Shamea and Porsha were doing a get back, a tit for tat when it came to Drew. Drew was working with Dennis. Like, let's not play a game. So Shamea says, well, Drew called me a lapdog all season, so I said, let me beat one. Girl, what? Wait a minute. So because the heifer called you a lapdog all season, you decide to give in to what she's saying and be a lapdog? Shamea, that's dumb. That is stupid. If somebody called me a lapdog to my best friend, which they wouldn't, but if somebody called me a lapdog to my best friend, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's Shamea, that's worse than you sitting at that time about barking and kiss my motherfucking ass. Okay, Shamea. The fuck? Dumb. So Shamea you say Shamea made it bigger than what it was. Yes, like Shamea, ma'am. Now, Angela, I will say I did crack up laughing when you said to Shamea them that you too big to sit in anybody's lap. I said, I know that's right. Now we move on. Now, Drew, girlfriend, I'm gonna have to call you out because ooh, Drew. So we move on. So we're talking about Drew and this divorce from Ralph. So a viewer asked, "Are you getting divorced from Ralph because you spent 3,000 minutes a month on the phone with Ty?" And Drew was like, "No, like 3,000 minutes. That's not even a lot of time." Drew, I did a Google search earlier today to see how many hours 3,000 minutes is. So 3,000 minutes is 50 hours. So you spent 50 hours in a month on the phone with Ty. That's equivalent to like almost 2 hours a day. That's like almost 2 hours a day. That's a lot of time to be on the phone with somebody. I don't even here's something I will say. I don't even like being on the phone with anybody, let alone enough to be on the phone for 2 damn hours. Like, what is there to talk about in 2 hours? My God, today. But man, okay, hey, whatever. But Drew wants to downplay it, and she says that she and Ty are still friends. I do believe that. But Drew, I also do want you to be honest. Well, you were kind of honest on Carlos King's podcast about that there was some flirting between you and Ty. Girl, I want you to be honest and say that there was more than some flirting, but okay, Drew, whatever. So Andy asked about Black, and Drew said that he's just her friend. Now, Drew, I'm going to call you out again, Drew, because what kind of friend, which I get the part about, he's your friend and you helping him promote his business, but the fact that you was on the phone with him before you got on the reunion stage, Drew, is there something you ain't telling us? And if it is, that's fine, because you're still going through a divorce with Ralph, so I'm going to let you have it. But Andy asked her, so if you start dating, will you bring him on the show? She's like, yeah, if I get a boyfriend, I'll bring him on the show. And Porsche said a girlfriend too. She's like, not a girlfriend. And so they had a little bit of back and forth with each other, right? Because Porsche she was like, they had a little bit of back and forth. I wasn't listening to it. It seemed like it was just fun banter with each other, because Drew said that Porsche was in Buckhead with an African. She's like, you love your Africans. She's like, I love my Africans. Okay, girl, whatever. So then the men joined the stage, and this, I'm gonna try to breeze through this as easily as I can, because it really wasn't much with the men, because we really didn't get anywhere. Andy asked where was Gerald. Shamea said he's with the kids. He said you couldn't get a sitter. I was thinking the same thing. Y'all couldn't get a sitter, but okay. So Andy asked Dennis to clear up if he talked to Porsha about working with Drew. Like I said, they're all liars in my personal opinion. So he said that, him and Porsha had a small conversation. He talked to Ralph, and he felt that Drew should have talked to Porsha. So Drew said, but you told me that you talked to Porsha. Well, Porsha said, well, he didn't talk to me, right? So Drew then talked about, Drew said that, he told her, actually, Drew said that she talked to Porsha. She texted Porsha, and she told Porsha that there was something that she wanted to talk to Porsha about. And I'm kind of with Porsha when she said, Drew, you should have told me, like, in a text message, like, hey, Porsha, I want to talk to you. The season's coming up, and I'm going to be filming with Ralph. Not Ralph, but Dennis, right? She could have done that. Especially if you saying that it's hard for you to get in contact with Porsha. Put it all in the text message. Say, hey, bitch, I'm reaching out to you. I'm trying to talk to you. We're missing each other. So here's what it is. I'm filming with, we're getting ready to go into season 16. I'm filming with Ralph. How do you feel about it? Leave it at that. It's, perfect, right? So they kind of started talking over each other at one point, and I don't know what they were talking about. It was actually because Porsche said, girl, the only time that you reached out to me was so that you could kiki about the new girls. And so, like I said, they got nowhere because they started talking over each other, right? So Andy asked Drew, Andy asked a question about Drew, Dennis, Coach Dennis, and them supposedly wanting to sleep with each other or whatever, right? Dennis said it didn't happen and that, he didn't say anything. But Portia's like, it was in the text message, Dennis. And he was like, no, it wasn't. I was like, oh, God, here we go with this shit again. So then Ralph says, well, I read the text message, and it goes with what Porsha said. I said, oh, my God, here we go with this shit again. Like I told you guys. And what's up, Shayna? How you doing today? Like I said, you guys, I really feel like this is something that all four of them concocted this season. I don't buy this storyline. I think it's something that all four of them concocted, because now people's stories are changing. But okay, whatever. Moving on. So we move on. So Porsha said, oh, so no, not Porsha. Ralph said this. So Ralph says that Drew told him that Dennis tried to holler at her, and um, Drew was like, "Ralph, you are lying through your teeth." Do I believe Ralph was lying? 100%. Like, go to hell, Ralph. So Andy asked Coach Dennis, would he ever get back with Porsha? He said, she's single. Who knows? Do I care? Not really. Now he did ask him about dating, Kelly and Britt. So he said that Britt was before Porsha, and he said when it comes to Kelly didn't tell y'all everything. So Kelly was like, "Well, what didn't I tell? What didn't I tell?" Now Kelly, you did lie because you said, "Well, we never hung out, we never went out on a date, and we never talked on the phone, but you did call me a few times." So Kelly, which one is it? Did you not talk to him? Did you not go on dates with him? Like, which one is it, Kelly? Because you clearly are lying through your teeth. So she says, "Well, we did talk on the phone, but it was more about business." Okay, Kelly, whatever. I don't care. Shannon says, "I fell asleep on the reunion last night. I got to struggle through it again today." So I watched it. I just actually watched it a few hours ago on Peacock because y'all know I like to hear cussing. I like to hear cussing, so that's why I watched it, and it was extended, which I don't know what I didn't watch it on Bravo last night, so I don't know what was extended. But hey, it is what it is. So then Andy asked about the woman in the basement. So Ralph said that the woman didn't go in the basement. I said, Ralph, you was a goddamn lie. That woman went in the basement. Then he's talking about the fact that it was just fitness stuff. Okay, Ralph, shut up lying. What happened to this podcast that you and Shamea was talking about? Go to hell, Ralph. So then Drew says to Ralph, actually he says to her that, you say you love me off camera. I'm pretty sure Drew does still love you because one, y'all been together for some time. Y'all have kids together, so I do believe you. She loves you, not like that, but whatever. So Drew says the energy that she has for him is because of his press tour, and he said, "Well, I did apologize." And so Andy said, "When did you apologize to her mother?" He said, "No." So I was like, "So when did you apologize, Ralph? Like you're sitting up here lying." But whatever. He feels like Drew's mom shouldn't have gotten involved. Ralph, that is her child. You are putting her child through hell. What the do you expect for her to do? Miss Basang says, I might need to watch the Peacock version, but I'm glad this season is over. I know a lot of people are glad that this season is over. Like I've said to you guys before, for me personally, I know a lot of people didn't like season 16. I did. I enjoyed season 16. Was it the best season? No. Could it have been better? Yes. But was it as bad as the last few seasons that we got? Absolutely not. It won nowhere near compared to season 15 and season 14, in my personal opinion. I don't think season 14 and 15 were good seasons, especially season 15. Like I know people, and again, I know people, like I saw somebody on social media, they have 3 people that they want to come back to this show. And I was like, I don't agree with not one of them. Well, maybe one I would agree with. And I'm gonna say the names, and I'm not gonna say which one I said. I'm not gonna say which one I agree with, but you guys will definitely know which one I vehemently disagree with. So the 3 people that I've saw names pop up are Nene Leakes, KKK Kim, and Sheree. And I'm cool with. I'm one of them. I'm okay with. I just want something different from this person if they were to come back. And again, I'm not gonna tell you guys which one. I'm cool with coming back. I'll let you guys try to guess, and I won't confirm nor deny. But moving on. Shayna says, Angela aside, we can do a recast. I think this is a good cast. I honestly think this is a good cast. I don't see anything wrong with them. Minus one person. One person can go, but unfortunately, she's a shoe-in because she came in at the end of the season, and that is fucking Phaedra. I'm cool with Drew coming back. I just want Drew to have a new storyline that's not revolving around her divorce. I'm cool with Kelly coming back, although Kelly is a liar. I'm cool with Shamea coming back, although we've learned about Shamea. Like I'm really cool. This cast was cool. This cast was cool to me. Even Britt, when she was on there, she was cool, minus her being annoying as hell and her voice being nasally as fuck. I didn't, because towards the end of the season, I was like, okay, I would have loved her. Here's the thing. When it comes to Britt, if she had came back, I want her to come back in a villain, a true villain era, because it would have been her against Shamea and Kelly, which I would have been here for, right? But I'm actually cool for the whole cast I'm cool with the cast coming back. I just want them to, because they again, Sweet 16, it wasn't sweet to me, but it was a decent season. I didn't get irritated with it, because you guys know, if y'all been watching me for any length of time, when it comes to Housewives of Atlanta, once we get up after the teens, I'm irritated and I'm ready for the show to wrap up. This season, when the finale came, I was like, oh, the season finale is here. I was cool with it. I'm cool with it. And I also will say this, you guys, because a lot of people, it was issue with the last cast that we had for season 14 and 15. And then we got a revamp, right? And then people now are saying, let's bring back old people. We've gotten so, like, what more can we, like, it's like y'all trying to squeeze juice out of a dry turnip at this point. Like, what more can we get from Sheree? What more are we getting from people? Like, yes, there are things that have happened in their lives since we last, like with Nene and with Kim. There are things that have happened in their lives since we last saw them, but some things, I just don't know what we can really truly get from some of them. Now, Kim is somebody that I just don't want to see ever again on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, so we got to take the good with the bad. Like, and if some of y'all are just joining, they did, Kenya did say that they are looking to add 2 new people. One of them is rumored to be K Michelle from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and the other one is Pinky Cole from the Slutty Vegan. Gabby says, I wouldn't mind Kelly coming back. I just want to get her financials. I want her to get her financials in order. Absolutely, because I think she's broke. Like y'all call Britt broke. I think the real broke one is Kelly. Because from what we now, granted, she did file that lawsuit, which I heard that lawsuit really didn't get filed. But Kelly is the one that's had people come out to her for money. Britt hasn't, which I'm shocked. I would have thought it would be Britt that would be in legal issues because of not paying her bills. But it's Kelly. It's Kelly. Shannon says, I'm tired of old housewives. I want the people. Yeah. And they can I really wish they could get rid of Phaedra. But you know what? With Phaedra, this is going to be a testament if it was a good decision to bring her back. Because now she's going into season 17 and she's going to have to come up with a real storyline. She can't do the fake, she could do the fake shit that she did she didn't give us nothing on Marriage and Medicine. But that Reiki healer stuff, and so she's gonna have to really show up to work this season 17. Will she show up? I don't know. Now, Porsha did give Drew and Ralph some great advice about, basically they should sit down with each other's respective parents and have a conversation, and and go from there. So then we move on. So Andy, you can tell Andy is a fan of Charles. So Andy asked the question of Charles. How he feels if he watched the show and how he felt Angela did. He said, I watched some shows and I think she did good. But he told her, like if you're gonna swim with the sharks, you better know how to swim, or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing. Porsha and Phaedra needs to give us more. Absolutely. I agree about that. So Andy then asked Charles, about him holding back and how some of the viewers feel like he doesn't care for Angela. Now, you guys know I've been on this channel all season long saying I don't think that Charles hates his wife. I think Charles is someone who is nonchalant, and I feel like I'm right about Charles, and because Charles even said, he don't want to come on television and put on when that's not his personality to always be all over Angela. So I think Charles loves his wife. I think Charles is just a nonchalant asshole, and Angela knows that about her husband. And I think Angela was just doing, I feel like Angela probably was especially with her asking him to give her a kiss and all that kind of stuff. I think Angela was just seeing how Charles was going to react. But you guys can tell me what you think and what you feel, right? So Andy then asked about, his mother-in-law. He said he hated it happened and that he never had to sit down with her, but he did accept her apology. And so then we move on to, was Charles hiding his wife? Who knew Charles? Who met Charles? And all this kind of stuff. And I was like, we could have easily scrapped this from the reunion. We could have scrapped this, right? So Shamea says that she met him at a wedding. He said, you didn't meet me at that wedding. He said, I was at that wedding and that you didn't meet me. So Then Shamea says that, she talked about when she first met Angela. I was like, okay, I don't really care. But Angela felt like Shamea was taking a dig at her. She absolutely was. So then Andy asks if he remembers meeting Phaedra. He says no. And Phaedra, he says, well, where did you meet him, Phaedra? And she said, we've been in several rooms together. He said, but that don't mean you met me. So then I think she was trying not to say it until she had to say it. But I'm going to read Gabby's comment and then I'm going to get back into it. So Gabby says, my husband is the same way as Charles, but my husband loves me down. Exactly. I think Charles is just Charles is, he's not going to fake the funk to make it, make people think what he knows about his wife. But that's just my little 2 cents, right? So Phaedra says that she met him when he dated Sheree. She said that she's been around him a few times when he dated Sheree. Now, Angela, I think for sure this was on the Peacock version when you said to clear it, did you and Sheree live together? I was like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China, Angela? So Angela's like, did you guys live together or, was it just dates? He said it was dates. Like we went to Dubai, we went there, we went here, we did this, we did that. So y'all didn't live together. I was like, again, Sheree, what does that, not Sheree, but Angela, what does that prove to you? So Angela, so y'all weren't in a monogamous relationship. Again, Angela, what does that matter? It was before you. And you said it yourself. You don't think, you said Sheree has moved on and, Charles has moved on, obviously. So what does that matter? But Andy asked him, when did they date? So he was like, we dated in like 2005, 2006. Like they dated for a couple of years. Again, Angela, I don't care about that. Why are you making, you putting 20 on 10 when it comes to it? Because it's just a question. Now, she also kind of got a little offended. So they talked about the whole Wendy Williams situation, right? And so remember, they say that when she was talking, Angela was talking to Wendy, but Angela says that she was talking about her ex-husband, but Wendy took it back to her show that she was talking about Charles, right? So she also did mention, again, I don't know if this was just on the Peacock version or if this was on the show, but she says that Wendy asked Charles over for wine, over to her house. He said that he didn't go because she has a cat, right? And she said, how many times did she ask you over? He said, it was a couple of times. She said, so you would have went over, so you would have went out with Wendy? I was like, Angela. Now, Angela did say that this is why they've been together. But again, even now, Wendy did say she's known Charles for years. And Charles ain't refuting that. So it seems like it was a friendly relationship. Now, could Wendy have wanted Charles? Possibly. But Angela, you kind of looking at this, is kind of giving a little bit of insecurity in my personal opinion. But hey, whatever. So then Andy asked him about, the therapist, Wendy, and if, because they talked about Madison Square Garden. Now, I thought I remembered Angela saying that there were other women, but you guys, that was the thing with Angela too. Angela, this season, at the beginning of it, Angela says stuff and it don't make sense, like that whole Madison Square Garden and them splitting up. I was like, there sounded like there was some infidelity, which I think it was, and I think Angela did hint at that, and she said that there were other women at the time. She said there were other women, but who, Angela? But they both do say that, the therapist Wendy is a good help to them. Now, Shamea, it wasn't funny when you asked them about the whole. So you were talking about Wendy Williams and not your therapist, Wendy. I said, Shamea, shut up. Shut up, Shamea. So that was that. And then Kelly asked Ralph, like, what did her ex-husband say to him? He said they were just talking about the circumstances surrounding their divorce. And that was it. Keelan says that part was cringe. It was with Angela, absolutely. But yeah, you guys, that's a wrap on season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys. So we are going to be now, I don't know, because I think Married to Medicine is still currently filming. So I don't know when Married to Medicine is coming back. And Real Housewives of Potomac, they're still currently filming. So I think we're going to be off for a good while until we get to Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac, which, am I looking forward to Potomac? Yes and no, not really. Part of me is looking forward to Potomac. Part of me ain't looking forward to Potomac. And there's one part that I'm not looking forward to with Potomac. And if you guys know me and been around when for me with Potomac, y'all should know what I'm not looking forward to. And it's not what you it's it, actually, you know what, I can actually say what I'm not looking forward to with Potomac. So I've heard through the great, well, actually, it ain't even rumored. We saw it that Giselle and Monique met up with each other to film with each other. I'm not looking forward to that scene. Honestly, when we get to that episode, I may skip that scene because I honestly don't care about it. I don't care about that. Them sitting down with each other. Is it long overdue? Yes. Do I care about it? Absolutely not. Because I feel like it's going to be a repeat of the Wendy and Giselle sit down that we got last season that I thought was a complete crock of bullshit. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. I'm going to get off of here. I got to go get me something to eat for lunch because I have not ate yet. And then I got to get back to work. And yeah, you guys, that's it. So Sunday nights are going to be free for a while because I don't know what's coming up in Atlanta's place because everything is currently filming. Beverly Hills is filming, which they don't come on Sundays. New Jersey is still on pause. They are filming Rhode Island. I don't know when they're going to finish with Rhode Island, so we don't know when we're getting that. Salt Lake City is coming up next, but I don't know if they're going to put Salt Lake City on Sunday like they did that one season that it followed Potomac. But yeah, you guys, we're going to be off. What I may do, I'm not sold on this, but I may watch King's Court and may talk about it. Not 100% sold on it because I know it's already 2 episodes in, and I don't like to jump into a show 2 episodes in. But yeah, I'll think about it. But yeah, you guys, again, like I said, that is part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Now, if I'm being honest, even though I know how production, how this works, they only did this. They did a 3-part reunion for the ad space. Y'all could have condensed this to probably 2 parts, maybe. Y'all could have condensed this to 2 part, but it is what it is. We got through it. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about the season. Also, let me know, how do you guys feel about season 17? Are you guys, which I know Shayna's probably not ecstatic about some of the girls coming back, but how do you guys feel about the girls coming back for season 17? How do you guys feel about potentially having K Michelle and Pinky Cole on the show? Let me know what you could think, and I'm gonna hop off of here. But as always, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your post notifications. And I'm out of here, you guys. And I'll see you guys later for a pre-recorded review of Baddies Africa. See you guys later. Bye, y'all.